Generations Bank has been serving the financial needs of the Finger Lakes region since 1870. Generations combines the best of modern banking with dedication to the local community. Visit them at mygenbank.com. Generations Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Welcome to FLX Weekly here on FingerLakes1.com. I'm Jim Sinacropi. It's Wednesday, August 28th, 2024, and we're live in the FingerLakes1.com studios in Seneca Falls, New York. It's another Wine Wednesday edition of FLX Weekly. I'll be joined by Katherine Chase, Executive Director of the Cayuga Lake Wine Trail. We've got updates on the harvest, which is just about getting ready to go. I mean, it's been a little fall-like the past week or so here in the Finger Lakes, a little more so for late August than usual, but it's definitely has that fall vibes. A lot of people getting excited who like fall. I like fall, and so much great stuff to do around here in the fall in the Finger Lakes. But of course, if you're a winery owner, you're starting to harvest the grapes for the 2024 vintage, and so we'll get an update on that. So should be a great show for the next 20-25 minutes or so. But first, this episode is brought to you by The Perfect Pair Eatery, quality carry-out cuisine in Seneca Falls. Everything is made fresh with in-house smoked meats, cheesecakes, and marshmallows. Check out their unique menu of comforting creations, sure to please the entire family for lunch or dinner. Order online at Perfect Pair Eatery. That's Perfect Pair, P-A-I-R, eatery.com. Or call 315-712-4004 and look for the yellow door at 64 West Baird Street. Also, I'd recommend following them on Instagram or Facebook because every day they're posting stuff from Chef Ben's Cooking in the Kitchen. It's a pretty good follow. Also, Lincoln Hill Farms. Head over to Lincoln Hill Farms on Saturday, September 21st from 5 to 9 p.m. for their amazing Oktoberfest on the farm. Put on your lederhosen or dirndl, enjoying the celebration with German-style food, beer, and live music. The Crazy Firemen will rock the stage from 5 to 8 p.m., followed by Mariana Gonzalez from 8 to 9. Get in on the action with exciting competitions like yodeling, best dressed, and Stein hoisting. Hoist your Stein. And check out the local vendors. Admission is free. Parking is $10. Don't miss out on this festive evening at Lincoln Hill Farms. More information on their website, lincolnhillfarms.com. So, Katherine, welcome back. It's the last Wednesday of the month, and it's the last Wednesday of August, which means we're about to transition. Kids are getting back to school. Your boy's getting ready to go back to school. Going to take them shopping.
1 week.
My daughter's down at James Madison University in Virginia, 6.5 hours away from me. But we were definitely can feel the summer kind of slipping away, which is fine because fall is fantastic.
I like fall. I'm a fall girly.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
You're a fall girly too?
Yeah, I'm a fall girly. I like all seasons, but geez, the best 2 months of the year stretch might be September, October. You know, around here in the Finger Lakes. So that's exciting. But also exciting times on the wineries throughout the Finger Lakes and the Cayuga Lake Wine Trail. It's about time to start the harvest.
Yes.
Probably some stressful times, but overall a pretty good summer for the growers.
Yeah, this is like where everything kind of, culminates all of their efforts from the end of last year's harvest to now. I've seen photos. People have been getting their harvesters ready, getting their bins ready. The newest report that just came in, it's about 10 days early from the average for harvest.
Yeah.
Thirsty Owl, they are picking tomorrow. They're first. It's some of the early varieties, so they're doing Diamond tomorrow. Hosmer has picked some Save All. They'll be doing Cayuga White here in another week or so. They'll just have to monitor that pretty much daily to make sure they pick it for their perfect sweetness and how they like it. So now is when every day they're checking stuff to make sure it's how they want it. Because as you know, the longer it sits on the vines, the higher level of the bricks, which is the sweetness of the sugar. So if they want it sweeter, it stays on longer. If they don't, they pick it. So now is when they get their science and do all of their stuff to make sure it's perfect.
But the vines are full.
Yep.
of grapes, and yeah, it's quite a. I mean, can you even imagine how many individual grapes will be picked over the next 30 to
I'm
40
sure that's an
days?
interesting trivia tidbit.
Got to be
Millions? I don't know.
billions,
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe
Maybe.
billions,
Yeah,
definitely millions
definitely.
of
Yeah.
individual grapes.
Of individual grapes. Yeah.
So it is good time. We have some Instagram posts too to share from the past week or so at the wineries. This is actually from your guys' Instagram
Yeah.
feed.
I can't remember which grape that is in general, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
As it's waiting.
It just shows how mature the
Yeah.
grapes have become now, and of course this
And
is
that's the harvester at Swedish Hill. It was just sitting out, kind of waiting to report to duty, which soon.
yeah, and
I'll be
then
hearing it from my office pretty soon, harvesting. And that harvester is really neat. It actually, I don't know the nerdy term, but it's like a self harvester. In the back, it actually holds a certain amount of grapes, and then they take it back and dump it into the bins.
Oh,
So some
okay.
of the harvesters need to have a trail of
Right
another
behind it.
trailer
Yeah.
with a bin to where it goes over, whereas that one does it by itself. So they get less man hours, so they can kind of harvest a little quicker.
Yep.
So it's a more high-end machine, but it looks really kind of rough.
Yeah, and
cool.
so
Yeah.
it just straddles the vine.
Yep,
And,
yep,
yeah.
right over it. So it doesn't look as big in the picture, but it's tall. Those things are huge because it goes right over the vine.
Yeah, I can imagine, standing in front of that thing, and my head
Yeah.
would probably
You
barely.
can go, I mean, you shouldn't obviously, but you could walk right in between
Yeah,
that
get
hill.
harvested.
Yeah, you could get harvested.
My grapes could get harvested.
Yep. Yeah, and that's 6 Mile Creek out in Ithaca.
Yeah, a lot of people from up here in the northern end of Cayuga Lake of the wine trail might not
Yeah.
think about making it down there, but we
Absolutely
went
should.
once this
Yeah.
summer, and it is an amazing property and just gorgeous. I mean, and as far as visitation at the wineries, that also increases in the fall.
It does. I actually get asked a lot, oh, are you still open? Yeah, actually, they're really busy in the
Yeah.
fall. They're almost busier. And even through Columbus Day weekend and the weekend after that, that's like the epitome of busy right there. And then it starts to trickle down. And then into January is when it's slower. But now is when it's like extra, extra busy because the leaf peepers
Yep.
and the harvest hullabaloo and all of that is when people really
Throw on a
want to come.
sweater and hit the wine trails.
Yeah, get your
right?
sweater, try some soup, get the wineries. So this is Montezuma's, their new edition, which is
Yes.
so close to
Amazing.
being done. Yeah, I cannot wait to actually physically be inside that new space.
So they have not actually opened the new edition yet.
No, they've had like a case club party in there,
Yep.
but it hasn't been open to the public yet.
Did they double their capacity with
I
this,
don't-
or
it-
maybe even more?
Probably even more. It's like 5,900 square feet, which is a lot.
So in Montezuma, we have the northernmost winery on the
Yeah.
wine trail, and the previous photo we showed
the southernmost.
is the most southernmost, and then a
And
lot
the-
in between.
The geographical difference from there is only 40 miles.
And this is a cool video that was posted from Lucas Vineyards, showing obviously a drone, and you can, this is within about probably a week ago. This footage was taken, and you can see.
This was actually Finger Lakes Wine Country did this. So it's Lucas and there's Thirsty Owl.
Okay.
There might be another winery, or it might it's just those two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just showing the
Yep.
the healthy full vineyards
Oh, yeah.
and
a different
and the
perspective.
grapes now soaking up that sun.
Oh yeah, the vineyards are gorgeous. I had the dog one day, and we were walking through the vineyards at Swedish Hill and the canopies, because some you see are perfectly manicured, and it depends on the grape. They all like a different canopy. Some are perfectly manicured in straight rows, and others are overflowing, kind of like a weeping willow, and it's really cool. It felt like a jungle, and it was really neat to walk through. And they're bursting. They're ready for harvest too. They're just waiting for the grapes to be
Perfect.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we're solo here this month, obviously, because all the wineries are busy. This
Probably
the
next
busiest
month
couple
too, because
weeks.
they'll still be harvesting in September.
So we were thinking about different things that we could do, and you brought a couple of wines for us to sip on here as we continue our conversation. What do we have?
So our first one, I brought Naps Cab Franc. They're a recent gold medal winner at the New York Wine Classic. So, and I know you're a red guy, so I knew you would enjoy
And
sipping on a
Cab
red.
Franc is really exploding in the
killing
Finger
it right
Lakes.
now.
It's starting to get some
Yeah.
penetration globally as far as the best red wine in the Finger Lakes.
Yeah. Like I said, recent gold medal winner at the New York Wine Classic. It has a really nice light color. So on the nose, you'll get some baking spice, notes of forest floor, bramble, hints of jalapeno. I don't know if you get that.
I get the baking spice, which
yeah.
is something kind of unique.
Yeah, I get that too, which is kind of a fall vibe for your fall girly era. On the palate, there's some sour cherry blueberry compote, complemented with vanilla and nutmeg, which is from a really gentle oak influence.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on
I
in
burnt my
there.
tongue on coffee this morning, so I don't know if I'll taste that. It was just tragic. And there's some moderate tannins that will soften with age wonderfully in like the next 5 to 10 years. So
It's
this
funny
wine
that you
will
were talking
age.
about aging. I really started buying wine to store and save probably around 2017 or 18. And so I do have a few bottles of local wines remember the 2017 vintage was so good.
I don't remember that, but you talk about it every month.
So
So
I
I
think
know how much you love
next time we have where we have to fend for ourselves without a guest, maybe I'll bring in one of the older
Ooh, and we
wines
can compare. Yeah, we should.
because yeah, it's starting to become a thing for me where I've been stocking up for the past several years on great Finger Lakes wines, and just putting them in the cellar.
Yeah.
And so some of those that I did, like I say, back in 2017 or 18, or even before, a few are ready to drink now, and it'd be fun to see the difference. But these are great right out of the
I
bottle. This is
taste a
2021.
ton of baking spice. This is 2021.
Yeah, that was as soon as you said that, I'm like,
I
yeah.
like it a lot. It does add to that fall feeling, which we'll especially feel on Monday. I looked at the 10-day. But
Cooling down.
yeah, I like that. It's not a really heavy cab either.
No, it's delicious.
Perfectly palatable. Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember the points I didn't write down, but gold medal is in the high 90s
Yeah, and that's
for the
pretty good.
rating. Yeah.
New
And
York
we had
State.
5 gold medals on the wine trail of Cab Francs, and Napa was one of them. And you tried Hosmer's last month when
Yes,
Brooke
it was
brought that one on.
fantastic. And I have
Yep.
I have a bottle of that at home.
Yep, she let you sneak it.
So yeah, it's they're drinking great now, and
Yeah.
you can buy 4 bottles, 2 to drink now and 2 to put in the cellar and see how they come out. But I
Future
really have
comparison.
started to develop quite a collection of Finger Lakes wines down there. It'll
Good.
take me a while to drink them all.
Yeah, well, you're not always supposed to drink them. All the rich in the TV and movies just have
Just for
wine.
show.
So yeah, just for show.
I'd like to drink them eventually.
Yep.
But yeah, this is great. I can see myself picking up a couple bottles of this
Yeah, this
as
is
well.
really nice.
Yeah, no surprise it won a gold.
No.
And great to see. It's I don't know, past 2 years, it seems like Cab Franc has become a big deal.
It's really exploded. What year was it? I think in 2019, 6 Mile Creek won the Governor's Cup for their Cab Franc. I think it was 2019, which is huge. I mean, of 800 and something wines, Cab Franc won the best wine.
Yeah, of all
Like
of
that's
them.
a huge deal.
And
Like
it's not a Riesling.
it wasn't Riesling. Yeah. And it's been different wines. One year it was Gewürztraminer, which is interesting, which shows that the judges are really they're really open-minded, obviously.
Yeah,
But
and-
for a dry red in all of New York, and
it's
it was
statewide
Cayuga Lake,
too.
statewide, yeah.
Where a lot of people think New York wine Finger Lakes, but there's a big wine
Yeah.
scene in Long Island.
Hudson Valley.
Yep, there's a lot going on. I feel like we could do it best in the Finger Lakes. But,
Oh, absolutely. I'm totally biased. But I haven't tried it, so I'll have to. But so while you finish that up, I also brought from Buttonwood Grove the Farm Red. So this is a field blend of a state-grown vinifera and hybrid grapes. It's harvested from multiple vineyard sites on their property. It is a chillable red, so they recommend 50 to 55 degrees.
This-
I'm not
you
sure
chilled
if
it a
I
little.
have that.
Yeah, you got it chilled a
I
little.
had it chilled for a couple hours. But so it is a good summer sipper, but you could drink it at really any temperature. It's your preference, but they recommend chilled. So you'll get notes of tart cherry and spice, subtle hints of chocolate. It's light bodied with delicate tannins, a slight touch of oak on the finish, and it was in French barrels for 16 months.
Oh, wow.
And I actually took both of these to Tasting Tunes a few weeks ago, and both were really well received, obviously. And everyone enjoyed. First, they were a little thrown off by a chillable red, but they were super pleased with it. And this is part of a series that Buttonwood has. They have the Farm Red, the Farm White, and now they have a Farm Sparkling.
Okay.
It's all part of their sustainable winemaking. They're all blends from their properties.
I like the bottle too with the white label. But this is definitely a little something different.
Oh, yeah?
I'm trying to place where it's great. I'm just trying to place.
Do you want me to
what I'm
reread it
tasting.
now that you're tasting it?
Yeah. What,
Tart cherry. So on the nose, tart cherry and spice, subtle hints of chocolate. So it just had notes of the notes. So I don't know if it'll also be on your palate.
Good.
So you have to tell me. But chocolate and cherry mixed together sounds like a delight.
yeah, good. I can definitely taste the cherry.
I'm trying not to talk so you can taste better.
It's very good. And it's a blend. So when you see a blend, when you see like Nap Cab Franc, they made it from Cab Franc. The blends can be whatever they want to mix
Yep.
in.
And it could change next year when they release another one.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun seeing what these talented winemakers can come up with each year, and it's gotten better and better since we started doing our show, I think even.
Yep.
Really.
Sometimes these blends are the product of, oh shoot, we have some extra. What can we do with this? And it turns into be something fantastic.
Yeah, this is fantastic. And kudos to Buttonwood,
I wish
too.
it was more chilled, honestly. I think it would be fantastic. It'd be a little crisper.
Yep.
It was only in the fridge maybe an hour and a half. So I don't know the degree on that, but.
Buttonwood also makes a great Cab Franc while we're talking about Cab Franc.
Oh, yeah, they were on the
That's
gold
probably
medal list.
That's
Yep.
probably their, I don't know what's their best seller, but
It's your bestseller. It's
You're right.
I know that about you. Of all the things I know about Jim Sinacropi, Buttonwood's Cab Franc is his favorite thing in life, in sports, and golf, and soup.
and we have the Buttonwood Grove Cab Franc at Seneca Falls Country Club is a regular option, which is nice.
I do taste the subtle oak at the end. It's not overbearing.
Yeah, I gotta step up my wine tasting game. Can you take courses for wine tasting? Because I taste it and I'm like, man, that tastes really good. What is that? And then I'll say something and
You might enjoy taking the WSET, which is like the certification. It's the wine. I don't know what it stands for.
is there homework?
Well, yeah, there is, and then there's a test. There's 1, 2, and 3. It's like a certification. I'm level 2. You would easily be able to skip 1 and start with 2. But you do have to learn about the different regions all over the country, but you do taste and you have to spit out. So that's when I learned about the wine chewing. And I came on being all fancy and like, we should chew our wine.
Yeah.
But you do taste more when you chew it because
Right.
you get it up here.
Yep.
I don't know if there's anything smaller than that. There might be. The New York Kitchen does a lot of stuff.
It's amazing though when you watch like a true world class sommelier, you can blind taste test them
Oh,
anything
totally.
and they'll be like, oh, this is 2014 Côte d'Aron from France.
Yes.
It's amazing that they could identify something like
Yep.
that.
And I'm just like, I don't know geography very well. That was my downfall on the test. I passed, but the geography was really hard. I had to study hard for that part because I'm not good with that. But it was definitely a lot to learn, and it was really interesting because you learn a lot about the terroirs and the climates and how the climates really do affect it. And I
It
think
might
last
be worth
time,
it just to take that test so when I'm at dinner I can show off.
you're like, you know that I'm level 2, right?
Right, I'm a level 2 sommelier. Anything you guys
WSET.
need to
You're
know,
not. You wouldn't be sommelier yet.
level 2 WS, whatever. It'll sound
WSET,
impressive. They won't know what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking about. I'll say anything you need to know about the wine. Then they'll always let me order the wine, which generally happens a lot when we go to dinner. If everybody's looking to drink red wine, they'll be like, "You pick, Jim,"
Yep.
because I'm the host of this show where I've learned so much.
You might
about
not need
wine.
that then at this point.
But both these are awesome. And again, it's so exciting to me to see the red wines becoming more prominent here in the Finger Lakes, which has been so Riesling dominated. I think, if you go back 5 years ago, everything was Riesling and it was
Oh,
like everything
absolutely.
else was an afterthought. But everybody's starting to develop more, and and the climate's changing. So one reason why Napa cabs have been so popular was because of the weather. Well, you know what? Our summers are starting to resemble a little more of
This
that
summer was
than they
hot.
used to be. So
We probably have some decent reds out of it. Um, don't quote me on it, but I felt like the summer was hotter than usual, and so that may affect, in a good way, some of the reds.
yeah, and there was plenty of rain. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah,
like it
it
was a
wasn't
dry
dry.
summer.
No,
It was
it was perfect,
wet and
probably.
hot. Not too, too many
No,
sustained weeks of humidity.
yeah.
But the other fun thing about the Finger Lakes is there's all these microclimates based on where you are in the various lakes.
Yeah.
We went down to the south end of like Seneca Lake, between Seneca and Cayuga, to Scale House Brewing to get a pizza.
Oh my gosh, my parents eat Scale House every week because they live nearby.
Yeah, we don't. We drove for half an hour. Actually, it was 39 minutes when we got in the
Yeah.
car from Seneca Falls.
That's not bad.
But we had some time to kill. It was a beautiful day,
Yep.
and just like that section of the Finger Lakes is its own little community
Yeah, it
almost.
really is.
You
Yeah.
know, and so
It's a
there's
gorgeous drive too, right
all
there.
these. We got the Cayuga Lake, like even the central kind of Cayuga Lake Wine Trail with Thirsty Owl, Buttonwood, and Knapp, and and
That little cluster. Yeah.
it's a
Yep.
so it's almost like you can't visit all these places in one day, so you choose one of those little pockets.
It's like a little neighborhood or a pocket.
Right.
Yeah, because you have Scale House, you have Penguin Bay, you have Ruster Ranch, you have Hazlitt, and
Stone
there's
Cat
others that I can't think
for
of.
dinner
but yeah.
if you want.
Yep.
And then of course there's a lot of others. If you go out to Cayuga Lake Wine, which we like to do usually once a year in October, but definitely where we are in Seneca Falls, it's the easiest, and it usually is enough to satisfy us. Is to head down to that cluster, like you
Yeah.
say. It
Oh,
might
absolutely.
be live music at Buttonwood,
Yep.
Thirsty Owl, Knapp. It's because they're all doing such great things, and there's always something going on this
Yeah.
time of year, or all summer long, really, and into the fall. So,
I had a lady call me yesterday. She was from New Jersey and she needed a little bit of help. She's like, I'm staying at the Gould. Can you recommend? Well, once she found out I was a local, she wanted all these recommendations. She's like, well, where can you recommend within an hour? I'm like, the entire lake is within an hour.
right.
Oh, I'm like, everywhere you go. But it sounds like it's so far.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
every single option is within an hour technically of you. The
Yeah,
lake is
really.
only 40 miles top to bottom. You could go to our southernmost winery and still be
in under
within
an
that
hour.
time frame you just set
Yep.
yourself.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's definitely
yeah.
awesome and growing. And of course, if you're not a wine lover, there's breweries, there's distilleries, and so much farm to table stuff going on too. It's like, all the popular stuff that you read about or see on TV now with foodies, it's all like within, like you say, an hour's drive of wherever you are,
Pretty much.
in the Finger Lakes, which is good stuff. So, so anything going on coming up?
Oh,
It's
totally.
Labor Day weekend.
It is Labor Day weekend, but it's almost just another weekend in the Finger Lakes. So if you're willing to go down to Ithaca, Thursday nights they have the 6 Mile Creek has their sunset concert series. They have an awesome view overlooking the vineyard as the sun sets. You can listen to music. At Lucas Thursday night, they have the end of summer, Naughty Summer Night. So it's their big kickoff to summer, say goodbye to summer, hello fall. Saturday is kind of where it's happening this weekend. Lucas has lobster and live music. So Cousin's main lobster food truck will be there, and they have
I've
music.
heard that thing is
That food truck has been
building-
around.
Yeah, they're
Yep,
building a
so
name for themselves.
They'll be at Lucas on Saturday, and there'll be music. Saturday also, Hosmer has their harvest event. It's their Some Like It Hot. So they have music, they have a food truck, they have vendors, they have pop-up tattoos, they have crafts, they have all sorts of stuff going on. There's also music at Knapp Saturday, and then Sunday you can do music and mimosas at Hosmer to kind of kick off or end your weekend
Awesome.
before school starts for all the adults and children.
Yep. High school sports.
Sports. Yeah, we got our first football game this weekend.
Oh, really? At South Seneca?
Yep.
Now they redid the field, right? Recently?
It's been a bunch of years, but recently,
What, 4 or 5 years, or
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a nice facility. It's a nice facility,
Yeah, it is. Yep.
without a doubt.
Not when the sun is shining in your eyes. They didn't think about that, but they only thought about the night games, not the Sunday morning games.
So, yeah, a lot going on this
Oh, yeah.
weekend. Now that I got a nice wine buzz
did it
here
help
at
your
work
headache?
at 11:30 a.m., but these were delicious. Thanks
Good.
for bringing them in. Again, it was the Nap 2021 Cab Franc and the Buttonwood
The Farm Red.
Farm Red, which
Yep.
is a blend, and both delicious. Both available at the wineries, where there's live music at both Nap and Buttonwood
Nope,
this
no
weekend.
Buttonwood. They've ended their.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
I just assumed.
No, I think last weekend was their last weekend. Yep. But I think their food truck is. I think this is their last weekend for their food truck. But no music for them. They're probably a little relieved. They're crazy.
They crank it
They
out,
crank it out. Yeah.
without a doubt.
Without a doubt, you're right.
So, yeah, wherever you are, enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and then all the students get ready to go back to school, and fall is almost here. Not rush it though. People get so
Yeah, let's not
excited
push
about
it,
Halloween, but that's kind of like, I don't want it to be October 31st yet. I want to
No,
enjoy
we start
September
celebrating
and October.
spooky season early now.
I gotta go down to James Madison University at the end of September for Parents Weekend, and then I got a wedding near Boston in October, like 10th or something like that. Yeah, I don't want to rush it. This is the best time,
It is. Yeah.
next couple months.
I
So,
love it. I've already made my first soup too.
what'd you make?
A chicken enchilada soup.
Oh, nice.
It was a delight. I think I brought it on once, and that's how
Yeah.
I had tried it.
I think it would go good with either one of these wines too.
You're probably right. It was paired with a Riesling, but I think because it's tomato-y, kind of, it has tomato in it and stuff, I think it would pair.
And a little spicy.
It is, yeah. Has
Yeah.
some jalapeno in it.
Well, you should have brought some in.
Sorry.
One last slug before I go back to work. Actually, I'm working now.
You are, yeah.
But I got to go sit at my desk in front of the computer for a little while. So anyways, thanks again. Get out to the wineries this weekend if you can, Labor Day weekend, and a great couple months ahead. This is a great time of year here in the Finger Lakes. So glad you could join us here today for this edition of FLX Weekly. If you enjoyed the show, click like, share, and subscribe. I think we're off next week. Don't quote me on that yet, though, but we will be back. We will be back. Until we are back, have a great last weekend of summer, Labor Day, the final weekend of summer, right here in the Finger Lakes.